Okay, so welcome to another video tutorial. In this video tutorial, we're going to be working on the user page just like we worked on the administrator page where we get the administrators to enter their username and password. So we're going to be setting a general username and a general user password that the users already know from the store that they can be able to use to log in to their page. So to get started, we're going to click on the user page.html, the one that we created from before, and we're going to start coding, including the codes to be able to create this basic username and password for the user page because we already have the user PNG, which is supposed to be this one where the user will need to enter username and password. And of course, once the user does that, we also have to be able to put in for the user the options where they can have a look at the different type of baguette sizes, bread sizes, and of course the different type of salads and other options that are provided, which is the fillings. So going back to the user page, we're going to start in the headers. We're going to be including the title tag, and then in the title, we're going to be putting in the title, and we can call this user login. Okay. And then once we're done with this in the headers, we are also going to be linking this to its own style, just like we did with the one for, so this is the script. We did this for the one for style 1, which is where we put in the same codes for the administrator we did before. That's the background image. We're going to do the same for the user. So in the title section, we are going to create this link, and then of course, href, which is linking to the style sheets, equals to style. And we're going to be creating a style. I think we're going to create another one called style_2. So we'll write it down here and then we'll create it. So style2 underscore, actually style_2.css. Okay. And then I'm just going to take this to the side so I can zoom in my screen a bit more to be visible. So then once we're done with that, we are now going to do the relationship. So we specify the styles. Of course, make sure you put this in quotation marks. And then the next thing to do is talk about the relationship, which is explaining what this is, and that's a style sheet. And then, of course, once that is done, the next thing to do after we're finished with the headers, you can also take this on one line to make it all horizontal. So this can be written like this as well. Now we're going to be opening the body. So we're going to open the body tag. And we're going to be setting if you want a style or a background color, what I mean, which to be honest, necessarily, I do not need a background color. So I'm going to skip that. So the first thing we want to do is to put in the username text box. And of course, we have to create the style too just before we put in that information, very similar to what we have here, which you can just copy paste, to be honest. You can just copy paste the same information that you have from your administrator page and just put it into the user page because it's exactly the same thing. And I just copy pasted everything, and it's going to be, you can still keep the same variable names. The only difference is we changed this to check user because that's the function that we're going to be using to check the user login and see if it's authenticated. The next thing you want to do is also create the style2.css. So we're going to go here and then just call it style_2.css, hit enter. We created the file. Now we're just going to go back to style 1. You can copy the exact same thing again that you did for the administrator on style 1 and then just go and paste it on style 2. So I'm going to go to style 2 and then just paste it in there. And then you can see it's now pasted. You have to change this admin to the user PNG. This is the one that you've created and designed. So of course you're going to now put it as user.png. And yeah, and everything else is pretty similar. Everything stays the way it is. Now go back to the user page.html and you have the username, the password, you have the button that's going to say check the user. So you've already created those input text boxes, which are these ones, and they have the same name. And also you've created the button as well. And you have this ID result, which is also going to show in case if it's going to show in case if, of course, the user has access or not to based on the username and password they enter. one thing I would say is we're going to create a separate script. This script is for check administrator. Now we're creating a separate one for check user. So what you need to do is call this perhaps script 1. So then you need to go and create a script 1 file again on the left side. So let's create one called script1.js, JavaScript. It's a JavaScript file. And just pretty much copy everything you had from the function admin, check admin. And of course, just paste it into script 1. And then just change this to check user because that's the name of the function that we put on the user page. Okay, so this is called check user, as you can see. So just change it to check user. And everything else stays the same, but you also obviously have to change the username to maybe user123. And then, of course, the password that would be granted to user123 at. And that's pretty much what would be granted as the authentication for the user. And that's information that will be given to them in the shop physically. So because they are customers of the shop, they are able to place their orders online. So we assume these are customers, and so they know the general password to start placing orders. So now we're going to go to the username page, user page, sorry. And so just make sure you have the style to CSS, which obviously is the second style to right here. And you've put the user picture as the background picture, and also make sure you have your username and of course your password. Everything stays same size, same everything. So here again, make sure you've changed the JavaScript name to the script1 file, which is related to this check_user file, and make sure you've written it properly. So check user as in check user, like that. Now you can try to run it and see if everything works. So I'm going to click run. And it's running right there. So as you can see, I'm just going to make it a little bit wider. And if I click on user, we're going into the user right now. All right, so there's the user page. You may want to adjust this if you feel so, to move those text boxes up if you feel the need to. So if you go back to user page, if you feel that they're not like placed properly, sometimes that could also be because I'm on 110. So if I actually make it 100, it does seem like it's placed well. I would say that this text box is probably placed way up. So you can do some slight adjustments over there. So go back to the text box for user. And it's this one right here, and you can be able to set it left top, maybe make it top. Let's try to do it it was at 175, so maybe we can bring it down to like 170. Let's try to see how it works. So I brought it down by 5 units, so click on user, and it's loading up. Okay, it seems like it's way up, so let me try getting it to, I guess I can get it to 185. Let's just see how that's going to look like. And then click on the user. So basically just readjust. Okay, that's perfect. So it's brought it down. I can also take this login button slightly further down. So the further down it is, the more you increase your Y coordinates. So I think I'm going to make this button go like 280. Or maybe considering that I need to also, yeah, so maybe around, I think what it was around 250. So maybe around 270, since it's going to be too close to the part where it says invalid. I could actually make this 350 and actually move this top button to like 280 and just see how it is. So let's run it again. So just to put it a little further down. All right, so it's running right now. Okay, that's not bad actually. I do like the way it is right now. So it's like further down here. So let's try to log in to this username. We already put the user access to be, if you go to script 1, remember your access that I put in here was user123. So I'm going to do that user123. And of course here as well, user123 at. So let's see, when I click login, it says authentication valid and it just opens for me. Okay, one thing I forgot to do was to change this admin access right here, which will not open the admin page, but rather would open the user access page, which we need to create right now. So go to the left side and create one called user underscore access and then .html, and of course hit enter. So that page should be the one that would be created. And then from the user page, from the script one, sorry, page, change this admin to user page, which is just going to be user underscore access, the one we just created right now. And so that's just going to open it up for us. So if we run it again, let's try this time around. So take it a little bit to the side here. So I'm going to click on user. And then once it opens up, we'll try logging in again with the correct username and password and see if we're able to get access. All right, there it is. It just opened up. Now I'm going to log in. So type in the username, which, it's actually user123. And we're going to try typing the wrong one just to see if that works as well. And so if I do this now, if I click login, it actually opens this blank, which is great. That's going to be our user access page, which is the one that we're going to be putting in our connection to our third screen, which is going to be showing the different type of baguettes, different type of fillings, the different type of salads, and the options for them to have a look at the different type of baguette sizes so they can be able to go back and choose basically which they can fill the order form at the very last part. So right now this is working fine. Let's try to do an invalid input. So I'm going to open up user again. And then let's try to put an invalid input, and we're going to now move on to the design for our user. So let's say I put just Alicia123, and then of course I put in Alicia20123. Now it says authentication invalid, but my authentication invalid is way at the bottom, so I need to adjust that a little. So perhaps I'll take it at 320. Now run it again. So here's where you adjust it. It's at the part where it says results. That's where you're going to be adjusting to take it bottom. If you want to take something further down, you have to increase the size of the pixels. And if you want to take it further up, you have to reduce the size. So I'm just going to do XXX. And then here I'll just do something like Alicia123. Okay, this is perfect. So this is placed in a nice manner. So it does tell me authentication is invalid. And I have to try entering the right one. So the right one, remember, was user123. So let's try and enter it again. You can also say authentication invalid. Please re-enter the correct details. Just add that extra message for them so they know they can re-enter stuff. And so now when I click it, authentication is valid, and I'm able to open up the other screen. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for the user. Now we're going to be working on the designing of our third screen, which is once the users get access to this user access page, this is where we want to be able to put our third screen, which is the one that we want to show. And so we're going to be working on it. To do that, we're going to be going to LunaPic. And we're going to be opening up, of course, when you go in LunaPic, take your mouse over, make sure you search up lunapic.com, and then you go to File and select New Blank Image. So we're going to make a nice design. One thing I would suggest is that you follow the theme of your design, so everything's kind of uniformed. So you had this like background in the beginning, so sort of like that same design. You should definitely follow it and put in all those options that you need to put in. So what I'm going to do is start by putting in the background color, and I think I'm going to go with this one because that's the background I have. And then I'm going to go into borders, border tool. I'm going to put in my border, which is this one. So everything kind of looks same. Now I'm going to put in Baguette ordering system, and I'm just going to be putting in choose your Baguette filling so they know. So I'm just going to go apply this border. Now go to text, and of course now I'm going to put the same title as I've done before. So it's Baguette ordering system, and I'm pretty sure that the font I chose was either Chonker, which that's not the font. It must have been Chubby then. So I'm going to go look for Chubby because that's probably the font that I chose for this. So just try to get the same font and try to, mimic what you already had. So this is kind of the font, pretty sure. I also have it large enough, so perhaps I'm going to make it 100. So wide enough to occupy the screen. That's too big. Maybe make it an 80. And just to kind of put it into context to fit in the screen. And I think that's pretty good. So that fits properly for me. So now I'm going to go to click on apply. So there are many cool things that you can do in your design, but I would say just, the overall design, just make sure you stick to like the way you design it from before. So I'm just trying to get it to fix on this side. And then I've just applied my title right now. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go to the part where what we need to put on this second screen, or should I say third screen, from when the user gets access. And so what we're going to be putting in is once we go into this project right here, and if you remember, we do have this section where it says that the baguette ordering service allows customers to order filled baguettes. They can choose the sizes of the baguettes, which I already have searched up some sizes that I'm going to use as my pictures. So I'm going to use this for 30 centimeters, and I'm going to use this one to show that this is like a 15 centimeter baguette. So they understand the sizes and they can make their choices. And also, according to this, they can also choose the filling. So the screen I'm designing now is just for the fillings. I'm going to do one for the salad options so they can see what the fillings are like, what the salads are like. And then, of course, they can also see the sizes that are available. And then we're going to be putting in the buttons in those like screens so that they can be able to make the choice to go back or go forward so they can see the different options. So for the fillings, I'm going to go look for some. I already have some pictures that are like beef. I can use this one. I'm definitely going to be using this one for my beef. I already have some pictures for cheese. I have some pictures for chicken. One thing I would say is make sure you remove the background of your picture and also try to resize it so it's not too big. But actually, you can also resize on Lunapic. To remove the background of a picture, just go search remove backgrounds online. And then you'll be given like the first website, which obviously is this one. So this kind of website, you just need it. This is the one that you can use to remove backgrounds and just upload your picture and the background disappears. So I already have mine ready. So I'm just going to use those pictures. I have the egg one, I have cheese, I have chicken, I have also tuna, and I have turkey as well. So I kind of have all my fillings that I need. I just need to get my turkey, which I'm going to go get right now. So my turkey is actually this one right here. So this is the one I'm gonna be getting. So I'll just X that out and actually maybe not exit because I needed to stay here. Just copy it and then I'll just come over here and I'll just paste it in. So this is like my so this is for all of the third screen that we're designing right now. So now I'm going to go back here. Remember what you have to do. Make it really nice and creative once you're designing this. I'm going to copy this image to clipboard. Remember, if you want to blend images, you have to copy what you've done to clipboard. And make sure it says your image is copied to clipboard. That means you've blended it successfully. So you have to click on this option at the very bottom. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be selecting upload. So I'm going to upload the picture. So I'm going to start with according to the scenario, we're going to start with beef. Okay, so beef. You can just click on the upload and then select if the beef shows, because my pictures are GIFs, so they don't show. What I could do is just, but if your pictures are PNG, they would show. Like, just because mine doesn't show, I'm just going to drag it and drop it directly into the space. So you can also drag and drop pictures, or you can just choose them. So because mine's a GIF, it doesn't show as an option. So that's why I had to drag and drop. So I've copied this image to clipboard as well. So make sure you copy it just like you've done before. Now go back and open your original design, and I'm going to now put in, make sure you plan this really well because you're going to be putting in a total of, go back and count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you need 3 at the top, 3 at the bottom. And you need a space that would say next or back, next and back button, because you're going to be putting a next button and you're also going to be putting a back button as well. Okay. So going back to my design, now that I have this opened, I'm going to go to Effects, Blend to Images, and there I have my beef. All right, so I also wanted to add some text in here that says, please choose, here are the baguette filling options. So it's really important to put in text. You can make this smaller so you can fit in 3 at the top here and then 3 at the bottom here and have some space for the buttons as well. So make sure you don't make your picture too wide. And I think this is okay for my beef. Now I'm going to go back and put in the text that I wanted, and I'm just going to tell them, please select a baguette option. So here I'm going to write, please select a baguette, an extra filling. Or rather, since they can't select, I'm just going to say they have to look at the options we have. And once they get to the order form, that's where they can make their selections, enter their selections. So here are the list of filling options, okay? We have, so here are the list of filling options we offer, or we have. You can put that anyhow. And I'm just gonna get that here and change the title. Well, the style I'm gonna use chubby, and then perhaps go with like a 20 or 30, so it's not too big. And I will basically change, so you can do some creativity here depending. I'm just gonna change the color of my text so it stands out a little. So I'll just use blue, and I think that's pretty good. So here it is. And so I'm just going to apply this text. All right, so I got my text in. Now I'm going to save this image to clipboard. I'm going to go now, once you've saved this clipboard, go again and upload. You can go again choosing file if you want. I'm just going to go drag and drop my files, as I've said, because some of my files are GIFs, so they don't appear for me. So the file I'm going to do next, according to this scenario, is chicken. So I'm going to go drop chicken. So same thing happens again, drag and drop chicken in here. And there's chicken. Oops, I think I didn't drop it well. So it's appearing to me as a separate image. So I'm going to try again. And let's do chicken. Okay, there it is. So now I'm going to click on Save to Clipboard. So I'm saving my chicken to clipboard. Now, once I've done that, I'm going to go open up my previous background. And here's my previous background. So I'm going to go to Effects, Blend to Images again. So that's why it's important to save both of them to clipboard and then blend to images. So now I got my chicken, and it's going to come over here because I'm planning to put in some buttons that explains, or you can put in text, whichever one really. So here is my chicken. Okay. So this is the chicken option. This is like sliced chickens that they can have in their baguette sandwich. So I'm going to apply this, and then I need the third one. And so according to the scenario, third one for me in this row is going to be cheese. So again, copy this image to clipboard. And of course, now that you've copied it to clipboard, you're going to go again, upload. And then you're going to choose the file. And I will again drag and drop. So mine is supposed to be cheese. So I'm going to use cheese now. And I'll just place it in here. All right, this is a little tricky. Sometimes it doesn't like place in there. Okay, there it is. And so now I'm going to copy my cheese to clipboard again. So same procedure over and over again. And I'm going to go back to my original design, which was the one that I have here. And then I'm going to go and upload going to go and blend the images. So click on Effects and then Blend to Images. And then of course now I have my cheese over here. So now I can just resize this as well so it doesn't look too big, and perfect. There's my 3 different filling options. So I like this. I'm going to just click on Apply, and my cheese is going to stay there. If you want to put like a nice line for some reason, I don't know, you might want to do something like that. You can actually draw a straight line over here if you want to put something like that, just to show that this is like different options. This is something cool to actually put in. This is just part of the design. So if you want to add something like that and click Apply, then it stays like that. And then you can just go, and what I want to do next is actually put in some text options. So writing the name of these fillings. So the first one, I'm going to write beef. So I just went to T option, that's for text. And I'm going to use blue color for these. So the first one's beef. I'm obviously going to resize it because it's too big. So 30, and I'm going to stick with the whole chubby for me. And this is going to be the beef option. So I think I'm going to change a little and use red for this and perhaps increase my fonts to 40. So this is my beef. And I'm just going to put it further down, and then I'm just going to apply text. I'm going to do the one for chicken and stay with the same kind of option. So here I'm going to do chicken and also 40. So yep, there's my chicken right there. And then I'm going to apply text, of course. And then I'm going to do the one for cheese. So cheese as well. So cheese over here. And then, of course, I'm going to put it over here as well. So same kind of font, everything same. And then I'll just apply text. So I have like my first 3 options ready for them to see. I'm just going to do my last 3 filling options, and that's all for the screen. So don't forget to copy image to clipboard again, go to upload again, and then again, of course, go to the file. So I'm going to drag my image. The next ones I'm going to be doing is for egg, tuna, and turkey. So I'm going to go with egg first. And then my egg is over here, so I'm going to copy it to clipboard. And then, of course, I'm going to go back to my original design again. So click on your original design, the one that you just made, and then go back and say blend to images, go to effects, blend to images. And of course, I have my image right now, so I'm going to take my image for egg down here because I want it to be down. But remember what I said, you need some space that you're going to be putting in the buttons. So don't put things too closer to the bottom, okay? Because you need some space that you're going to have a button that says next, which moves on to the next screen for them to see like the next options, which are the salad options. And then, of course, you have back, which comes back again to the screen. So we wanted to make it as interactive as possible. So this is fine for my egg, really. I'm just going to click on apply. So now I'm going to put in the next thing, which for me is going to be the tuna and then the turkey. So I'm going to go, don't forget to save this image to clipboard again. And then, of course, go to upload, choose file, and then go to your image. I'm just going to go drag drop mine. So mine is actually tuna. So I'm just going to use this one right here. So my tuna is right here, and I'm just going to go with save image to clipboard. And of course, I'm going to go now with the whole effects and blend 2 images together. So blend 2 images. Oh, I forgot to do something. A mistake, a big mistake. I forgot to click on mine. So again, I have to repeat this process one more time. So click on your design again. If you made a mistake, copy image to clipboard, and then go again and upload. So, and then just get your picture. So I'm just going to get tuna. And then, of course, my mistake was I didn't click on my design. So copy this tuna image to clipboard. And now go to your design. Don't forget to do this process before you blend 2 images. Otherwise, you're going to be blending the same images together. So I have my background now. So now I'm just going to go to the option that says effects and then blend 2 images together. So now I have this done properly. So this one, I'm going to resize it a lot because I need space at the bottom. So I'm just going to resize this to tuna, like a little tuna thingy. And something like that. Perfect. All right, so I'm just going to put it over here. Kind of trying to maintain that spacing. I could have gotten a different tuna photo, to be honest, but anyways, I'll put it over here so I can get some space. It's like a smaller photo version, but it's pretty okay for... So anyways, once you're done, then you can now click on apply. And then, of course, it's now applied. And now the last one is going to be, according to my scenario, it's turkey. So according to the scenario you were given as well, it's going to be turkey. So again, copy this image to clipboard and then go back again, upload, and do the same process for the very last time and upload your picture. So my turkey is over here. So I'm going to upload my turkey. And then, of course, I'm going to copy this image to clipboard. And then don't forget to open up your design first and then blend, of course. So effects and blend 2 images together. And it's going to open for me. There it is. Perfect. So now I'm going to take this over here and I'm going to resize it perfectly. That's exactly what I wanted. So now I have it resized. So I'm going to apply and that's it. And now just put in the names. So the names, I will go back to text again and I will be putting in the name for this one, which is egg. So, or eggs, you could just say slices of eggs or eggs. So I'm just going to put eggs. And then of course I know the size was 40. Make sure you use the same kind of uniformity. And I'm going to drag this and put it over here so I can make some space for the buttons to come at least at the bottom. So here I'm going to put eggs just to make it uniform and slightly down because you need some space for the buttons and you don't want them to be too close to your text. So I'm going to put that, apply text. Now I'm going to put the tuna one. So tuna over here, tuna. And then of course drag that as well and apply text to this tuna, even though it doesn't look so uniform, but I can put the button one here and one at the side. So I still have some space, but if you actually save space, that would really help. So the last one is the turkey one. So just type in turkey and then you're done with the screen. You have to do the same process for the salad items and the salad options. So I'm done with mine. I'm just going to click on apply text and that's pretty much it. So my buttons that are going to be for like next will be over here. So actually we can have just one button that says next down here, or even at this point, or even at this point here, or even at the top here, anywhere you want to put your button that will say next, and it just moves on to the next thing. And then at the end, like once they get to the bread option, they will be like a back, or once they're on the order form, they will be like a back if you don't have space to put in the back. So my screen is ready. I'm just going to go and download it. So go to more options. Actually, you don't need to specifically download it as a PNG or a GIF. You could just download it as a PNG. That's going to work as well. So once you click save, it's going to download for you, or once you click more options, it will download. Now go back to your program and refresh, your computer. So I have it here now. So this is going to be my user screen. I would say filling screen. So I'm going to rename it and call this filling screen. Okay. And so this is the screen that I'm going to be using. Now let's get back to our code. So remember that the user page is opening this user access, which we created over here. Now this is the page that we have to link it to another style sheet that we can call style 3, and that's the one that's going to contain this background picture. First, you have to upload the picture. So go to File, Upload File, select and say Open. And so the picture is now here. So now you're going to go to the user page and remember how we put in connections. So we need to put in the header. And of course, we need to put in the user access I'm talking about, because now we need to link it to this style. And we're going to create another style, by the way. So click on this create button. Let's call this style _3.css. All right, so this style is going to be linked to the user access, so you can close all these extra styles. Actually, we needed one style, so never mind. We just close this for now, close this page, this page. Now, style 3 is the one that's going to be having, just like what you had in style 2, the background, so you can copy these codes from style 2 or from just style 1. Any one works. And then for style 3, you just paste them in, but of course, you're going to change the background image to now open up this background, which is called the filling screen, the one you just made for the user. So filling screen _screen. And so that's going to show it. So now go back to the user access page, not the user page, the user access page. And here we are going to be putting in our headers. So the header tag. And then of course you have inside of your header tag, if you want to put in the, if you want to put in the title, so of this tag, well, don't forget to put it as a tag. And then you can write the title as user, or you can call it filling page. Okay. And then very importantly, this is where you link this page user access to this style so that it shows this background picture. So here I'm going to go and do the whole linking thing. Okay. So it shows the background picture. So I'm going to go with open tag link href, remember? And we specify the name of the style. So this is style _3.css. And then, of course, we continue with the relationship, which is the style sheets, and of course, the text CSS. And that's all for the headers. And now we go into the body tag, and the body tag is very important for this page specifically because, oops, don't forget to put in the body completely as the body tag. And then of course, I'm going to take out this part and keep my body tag because this is where we're going to be creating that button that will say, you know, the one that says next and moves on to the next. So I'm going to do it right now. So to create the button, what we're going to do is open up and then of course the button and then the type equals to button. Don't forget that. And then of course the style, which is where you equal and open quotation mark. And first thing is we're going to position the button by making it relative so it can be movable and positionable. And then of course semicolon, okay? And then we position it on the left. So I'm kind of going to use the same measurements that we've used with the previous button on the user login and so on. So I'm going to go with 250 pixels on the left. And then for the top, I'm going to go with like 250 as well, just to see where that actually places everything. You can also specify the type of, the type of color you would like your button. So my color of my button, I would say that I would like it to be the text color, maybe, not so sure. We can go with like a red and a black, I guess. So maybe like red. So color, I'm going to go with like red. And then semicolon, and I can go with the font size of the things that I'm going to have on my button. I will go with like the font size of the text, 25 pixels. And then the font style or the font family, I'm going to also put that in. So font family, same thing we've done before. So I'm just going to go with Courier, same kind of font family. And the background color for my button, so background color, I'm gonna go with, since I have a red, I guess I can try, or maybe I should go with like a red background and like a purple kind of text color. So I'm gonna go with red here. And then the next thing to specify is the width of the button. So I'm gonna go with like 200 pixels. So very similar sizing to what we've done before. The height of the button, I'm gonna go with 40 pixels. And then I think now we can do the on-click function, which means once this button is clicked, what happens? So on-click function is we pretty much want it to open another page. So just like what we did with the check admin, if you remember in the script, check admin was opening another page and we had to use this whole process of saying if that you open another page, or even if you go to the index, it was actually on click. You can just copy this, guys. You don't need to do anything. Just copy this part of the on click so that it opens another page, and that's on your user access. So here, once you go into on click, okay, and then you say equals, and then you basically just paste in what you want it to open. And then you basically just close in your page, and you have to give the name of your button a name. So like the text that's going to appear on your button, and that's just going to be next. Okay. So that's it. So that's all for this part. It opens up this page, but we have to change the name of the page because it's supposed to open up the next page, which is going to show the salad options. As you know that you have to show the salad options as well. And of course, finally, the type of size of baguette bread. So this is really important. So right now, let's just keep it as user page, going back to the user page and see if it works. So I'm going to run this one more time. So click the run button and let's wait for it to run. Click on admin, well, user, sorry, not admin. So it opens up the user page. All right, it's opening for me. It's just taking a while. There it is. Now I'm going to log in with the correct user account details. So if you go back to your script 1, you will be able to find your username. So user123. And then my password is user123 at. Click on login. Okay. Oh, brilliant. But then there's a huge problem now. The next button is actually coming all the way up there and we need to bring it down. So we're going to have to adjust that. But if I click next, it opens for me back. So it works perfectly. let's go back to the user access page. And so the button, you need to adjust it on the left, on the top, sorry. Bring it further down. So let's say at a 450, if that brings it really further down. You can also adjust the width of the button. So I think 120 is fine because it looks too long. So I'm going to rerun this again. Go to user. And it's going to open for me the screen on user. So let's see. There it is. So user, remember if you enter something incorrect, it's not going to allow you to log in. So let's try and see if I remember this whole login thing. Okay, now the buttons come down, but I would say further down, all the way down here. So if we can make it, I guess 550 and maybe further to the right side. So maybe we make it like 350. Let's see how that looks like. So that needs to readjust. So you just need to readjust that for the user so that it comes perfectly down. So I'm going to click on user again. All right, I'm going to log in again. So password, oh, that's not gonna, if I try this, look what happens. It's invalid. So I need to do the right one. So user 123 and then user 123 at. Select login. Now it's valid. Okay, perfect. It's getting there. We just need to like take it a little bit more up and more to the side. To the I would say maybe make it at 320 and further up maybe at 520 so it doesn't look too, and the thickness of the button, to be honest, I'm gonna make it 20 because it looks too thick right now. So I've readjusted that. Now let's try to go back again. And let's see if everything's okay now. Okay, so user again, 123, and then user 123 at. Click login. Valid. Ooh, okay, so with readjusting it, it went way up, and now I'm just gonna go with 230, and I'm gonna go with 530 at the bottom, and I think I will go with like a 310. So really until you get the right placing that you want it to be in. So click on user and let's see now. All right, user 123, user 123 at. All right, hopefully it just, okay, it's perfectly getting there. So now I can take it to 545. That's the only thing. I'm going to adjust the size and everything's good. Maybe make this 305. So now let's try this last run. User again. Okay, it's loading for me. It takes a little bit of time sometimes to load. All right, there it is. So user 123 and then user 123 at, and then click login. Okay, that's perfect. So that's good. If you want to take it further down, of course you can. If you also want to take it, I actually think I would actually love to take it like 300, a little bit more further to the left. But all of these options, I really like the way the background is. You can see that's very flexible, moves accordingly, and all these options are visible enough for the user to see. Here are the list of the filling options. And let's just run it one more time because I've made some readjustments. I just want to see how it looks like. So I'm gonna go to login to user again and stretch this out a little bit to the side. Perfect. And now just put in the username. And of course here again, may have to write that one more time. Okay, click login, authentication valid. Okay, that's brilliant. That's really what I wanted. Now click on next. And so once you click on next, it opens back to this page. And you guys are probably wondering, that's because we have it, you know, opening back to the user page where you log in. But you actually go to the next screen. And once it gets to the final, which is the baguette size that we're planning to have as the final, where they get to choose the sizes. Oh, and also the type of baguette. So we can put in extra choices in one screen so we don't have to create multiple screen where we can give them to choose the baguette sizes and also the type of breads, and that's pretty much it. The salad is the one that's going to have its own distinct screen, just like the one that we had seen the one that we've just made right now. So it's the salad that's going to have that, and And then the one for the type of baguette breads and the type of sizes, we can put them all in one screen. And once they get to that final screen, then they can go back, and it's just going to take them back all the way to the beginning screen, which is the screen that we have for home. So yeah, and then after that, they get to go to the form, to the order form, and they fill out their information. That information gets to be stored in a text file, and that's pretty much it. So that will be what we're going to be working on next time. So today we're going to be stopping here, but one thing to do is please go search up the size of your baguette, save the images from now. So the baguette sizes, I'm just going to write 30 centimeter baguette so we can use it for our next tutorial. And also the 15 centimeter one, so I'm going to save it as 15 centimeter. And remember, we have to take out the backgrounds. So 15 centimeter baguette so we can use it for next time. All right, so we're going to be stopping here in our tutorial. I hope everything was easy and understandable, and I'll see you in the next video tutorial.